Hi there, welcome to the Robot Program. I'm Professor E. In today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to merge two Easy Builder projects into one. Now, why might I want to do this? Well, if I've been working really hard on one project for JD, and I've added in lots of music, and I've written lots of scripts, and I've got my Blockly code in there, I have a couple options. I can save my Blockly code and then open it in a new project, but then I have to import my music clips, and I have to add my other plugins. But I can also just merge the two projects. So I take all of my work from one project into my next project. I have two projects that I've been working on specifically for JD. So I'm going to open up my first project here. And I've saved it to my desktop. So if I go open my files, I've got JD Project 1. In this project, I have a couple of different controls. I've got my camera control, my auto position, but the ones that I've modified, I've brought in my speech recognition control, and I've written some different scripts and different phrases, and they also play different music that I've added to my soundboard control. So I'd like to keep those two controls in my next project. So I've saved this as JD Project 1. So I can go in to confirm here, JD Project 1, save. Good, and now I can open up the second project that I want to merge. Maybe this is a brand new project, maybe it's one you've been working on for a long time. In this case, I'm going to open up a second project called JD Project 2. In this project, I've got my speech recognition control, my Wii remote, my Microsoft Cognitive Emotion, and a couple of other plugins. I want to bring in my plugins from the last project into this project. To merge the two projects, under File, I'm going to select Merge. And I want to open the project that I'm bringing into the project that I have open. So since I have Project 2 open, I'm going to bring in Project 1. And I'll click the green Open button. And it asks if I want to import the 3D model also. Since I'm importing a JD project to a JD project, the model will be of JD, so that's okay. If you're bringing in a JD project to a Rolly project, you can choose whether or not to import the model. Remember that if you're merging two different robot projects, you'll have to update some of the auto position commands or some of the other features that maybe you don't have on your new robot. So you have to remember to go in and update your project yourself. So I'm going to say yes. Now it asks what controls I want to merge between the two projects. I don't need to merge auto position or camera because I didn't make any changes to those controls. They look the exact same between my two projects. The ones I do want to merge are my soundboard and my speech recognition. When I click OK, this will give me two of each of those controls. So if I scroll down, I now have two soundboard controls with all the music that I had in Project 1. That's great. Now, some controls don't like to have two versions. So you'll notice that I still just have one speech recognition. All I have to do is delete this one because I want the one from Project 1. Say yes to remove, and I'm going to do the merge again. So I'll open Project 1, say yes to the model, and this time I'm just going to choose speech recognition because I already merged in my soundboard. And now I have my speech recognition control from Project 1 with all of my same commands and scripts as before. Let's test out some of the controls to make sure they were imported correctly. So I'm going to turn on my robot and place him down. And connect to my Wi-Fi connection. Perfect. And we can see Valentine. Say hi, Valentine. Good. Okay, so let's go down. So I know my camera control works. Let's go to my auto position, place him in his resting position. Good. So my soundboard controls, I've got two here. Let's play one of my songs from Project 1. Good, he's playing the waltz that I wanted. Now let's try out some of the speech recognition commands. Because my speech recognition commands are using my soundboard control, I want to make sure that my robot is choosing the tracks from the original control that I brought in. So I'm actually going to delete my other soundboard control. I don't need both of them. So let's get rid of the old one. So I just have the one that I imported. Great. So if I go into my commands, let's choose robot greet the queen. It's one of my favorites. He's going to bow. Okay. Robot greet the queen. Good. So that was the length of clip that I wanted to import, and that's the script I wrote to go along with that when it's triggered by my speech. So I know that my plugin has been imported correctly to this project. Now we have project 2 with all the other controls, so my Wii remote and my cognitive emotion, but we've updated the controls of speech recognition and the soundboard to be the same as project 1. So I'm merging the two together by replacing those controls. I have two options now. I can save this as project 2 and just keep it as an updated project 2, or I can choose to save it as a merged project 3. So I'm going to call this JD project 3 merge, so that I know it's a merge of project 1 and 2. That way, if I want to go back and access project 1 or 2, I still have the original files. This is a great way to keep building your projects and making them more and more complex as you learn more about your robot. In this episode, I demonstrate how to merge two Easy Builder projects into one. This is useful for bringing students' past work into newer projects as their skills start to evolve and they create more and more complex robot projects. Load Easy Builder and open the first project to be merged. Decide which controls are going to be moved from the first project into the second project. Make sure this project is saved to the computer. Close the project and open the second project that's going to be merged into one. Click on File, Merge, and then open the first project. Decide whether or not to import the 3D model, and then select all the controls that you want to move from the first project into the second project. You may end up with duplicate controls. You can either delete the control that is no longer needed, or you can click on the gear icon to rename one of the controls. Having separate names allows you to reference the controls from other controls within the project. If a control is not updated when you import the new controls, you might have to delete the older control before you try replacing it. This depends on the different controls in the project. If you are merging a project from a different robot type, make sure to update any information in the code that is specific to your new robot, such as auto position commands. Connect to the robot to test all the controls and to make sure they work the way you intended. Students can now save this new merged project as they continue to develop new features for their robot. Thanks for watching this episode, and we'll see you next time.